Know you love me, girl, so that I love you. Know you love me, boy, so that I love you. 3년이나 이 곁에 있어줘.
A soft smile appeared on Jungkook's face when he felt a gentle kiss being placed on his forehead. He stayed there, closing his eyes, because he knew who this person is and how beautiful his day goes when he wakes up like this by his beautiful wife. Unfortunately, she can't speak, and these physical touch and sign language is the only way she expresses her love. But that's not the problem with Jungkook. He gets to know about everything without her saying. That's how much he loves her. You knew he is only pretending like he's not awake yet, so you shook his shoulder. Your eyes widened when you found yourself under him in a blink of an eye. He has a mischievous milk plaster on his face while your eyes widen and cheeks red. What's the hurry to go, sweetheart? We missed our morning cuddle. You tried to push him, but he grabbed your hand and kissed it. Ryan's POV. My heart was beating so fast and butterflies flying in my stomach. This man is really crazy. I really can't match with his energy and also his flirting. Though he's my husband now, but he still makes me feel like we're dating. Because he never leaves a chance to flirt. He looked at me as I gulped. Are you trying to push me away, love? He tried to kiss you, but you put your hand on his mouth. This is cheating. You kissed me when I was sleeping, and now that I won, then you're doing this. He sat down and crossed his arms while pouting. Good. And now come downstairs and prepare breakfast. You said in a sign language and got up. You're seriously not letting me kiss you? You chuckled and walked outside the room, leaving him stunned. She's so clever. Wait, I'm gonna take my kiss. He went inside the bathroom to get refreshed. Ma'am, can I serve breakfast on the table? He looked at her and nodded. Sir would be happy to see all these dishes. You cooked a lot today. You smiled as she complimented you. Usually Grace, who is your maid, prepare breakfast, but sometimes you like to cook for him. Jungkook walked inside the kitchen, wiping his wet hair and smiled. It's smelling so good. What did you cook? He said, looking at Grace. I didn't cook this. Today your wife has prepared all this. He looked at you while you smiled. When did you wake up? You stick out your 5 fingers while he looked at you disappointed. I told you not to wake up so early. What's the need of doing so much work in the morning? You need to take care of your health. You walk near him and make him sit on the chair. Sit here if you don't want me to get mad at you, you said through sign language and then served him the food. Grace smiled and left the kitchen to do other works, leaving you two alone. You really like overworking, right? What was the need to make this much food? You picked a pan which was there on the dining table before writing something on the tissue paper. Are you trying to avoid the food because I'm not a good cook? You showed the paper to him as he looked at you after reading. Even if you make me a burnt toast, I will eat it without any second thought. And your food tastes the best, but why did you trouble yourself? We have Grace to take care of all this. Because I like cooking for you, and if you don't like it, then I'll leave. You have Grace anyways, right? You again wrote and showed him as he looked at you and sighed. I can never win against you. Then why do you even try? He chuckled reading it. He took a bite and looked at you. You were curiously waiting for his reaction. Heaven. Now I have no words, so let me just finish all this. You chuckled and started eating, and really the food was delicious. After having breakfast, Jungkook left for work. These days he's a little busy with his gang works and all, but he still spared time to spend with you because he knows that you need him more than anything. He started to pick the dishes from the table when Grace came inside the kitchen. Why ain't she? Leave them here, I'll clean. It's okay, a little help won't hurt. You said in a sign language. I know, but you must be tired. You've been cooking from 5 am. Now take some rest or else sir would fire me. You both chuckled. Then you picked a tissue paper and wrote something before showing it to her. I'm going to the library and will be back soon. She looked at you. Just tell me what books you need. I'll tell the bodyguards. You shook your head. I'll be back soon, so don't worry. She sighed and nodded. Please take care of yourself. You nodded. You sat inside your car and wear your seatbelt when you get a text message. You unlock your phone and a smile appeared on your face when you read the text. I guess I'll be free early today, sir. What do you think about a candlelight dinner? You smiled brightly and replied to him, only if you promise that you'll cook the dinner. You put the phone on the passenger seat and started the engine before driving off. Jungkook chuckled when he read your text. He typed, no problem. I would love to cook a delicious meal for my lovely wife, but you have to finish that all. Suddenly the door opened and his right-hand man came inside. Boss, Daniel is here. Jungkook's expressions changed in a blink. He nodded. I'm coming. He sent the text and put the phone in his pocket before going out of the room. Came to the library. Books makes you feel better. From the beginning you like to read and that's why you have built your own home library in the house, but still sometimes coming here and reading your favorite books give you peace. Back in the days when you used to feel like being mute is one of the biggest insecurities you have, only these books embraced you like how you wanted to. You don't have to prove yourself, here only emotions work. You always wanted to meet the guy of your dreams who is also just like these fictional stories, and God listened to you. You met Jungkook. This guy is not just a good husband but also a true lover. Though you are a mafia's wife, but you live a normal life where you can go out without fearing about getting in trouble or hurt by his enemies. Jungkook makes sure you're safe, but he also makes sure you don't feel like you're being caged inside a mansion house. You have all the freedom because he is there to ensure your safety and security. After spending a good time in the library, you were walking towards your parked car. The smile was not leaving your face as you remember Jungkook's text. You were happy to see what he's going to prepare. He's the best when it comes to surprises. Suddenly your eyes fell on a group of children crossing the road. They were wearing school uniforms and crossing the road in a line with their teacher. It was a green light, but suddenly a car who seems to lost its balance was coming from the other side. Your eyes widened when you noticed a small boy tripped and fell down. His teacher and other students were already to the other side of the road, and teacher panicked when she noticed the boy and the car coming from the other side. You ran to save that boy. Luckily you pushed the boy to the other side, but you have to sacrifice yourself for that. It hit you, making you flew at a distance before you dropped on the road covering in blood. The car bashed to the nearby pole and the driver seems to hurt too. Crowd gathered around you and some also checked inside the car. People were panicking and calling the ambulance. The area around you got red with blood as a tear escaped from your eyes. Your eyes were still open but the vision was completely blurred. You heard people whispering and calling the ambulance before your eyes completely closed. There's an accident here. Please send 2 ambulances here. She's losing a lot of blood. Oh my god, please save this poor girl.
너를 잡지 못해도 안지 못해도 love is
Jungkook came inside the hospital. He was terrified by the news. His body was literally shaking. If anybody see him at this time, no one would believe he's a mafia. He stopped a doctor who was rushing to the emergency room.
love is the moment
Where is my wife? What happened to her? Please wait, we are trying our best.
눈에 내쳐 가슴에 내쳐 자꾸
Not best. Make sure my wife will be alright or else I will not leave anyone alive. The doctor got a little terrified. We are trying our best and you can't threaten a doctor like this. I am understanding your condition right now, but please wait. We will try our best to save your wife. He quickly ran inside the operation room while Jungkook dropped on his knees, burst into tears.
love is the moment
Few hours later, the doctor came outside. He rushed to them. How is my wife?
오늘 그날 그 순간 심장이 멈춰
Don't worry, Mr. Jungkook. Your wife is now out of danger. Luckily, she didn't get any internal injury or it would be so hard to save her. God listened to your prayer. He patted his shoulder and walked away. Jungkook wiped his tears and swallowed before going inside the room. He knew he won't be able to control his tears, but he tried. Jungkook slowly walked inside the room and a sob left from his mouth looking at your condition, which he quickly suppressed, covering his mouth. He walked near you. All those machines clipping to your finger, the oxygen mask and bandage wrapped around your head. He couldn't able to see this side of you. I will never leave you alone. I'm so sorry. He burst into tears. I'm sorry that I couldn't protect you, love. He rested his head against your hand and cried. You slowly opened your eyes and slightly moved your hand, making him lift up his head and looked at you. Your heart ached when you see tears in his eyes. He was looking so vulnerable at this moment. You slightly shook your head as you couldn't move it much, telling him not to cry. Thank you for staying strong. I was so scared. I'm sorry for not protecting you properly. I'm such a terrible man. This day you really felt the most heartbroken. You wish to be able to speak so that you can tell him that it was an unexpected accident and no one is at fault. You wanted to say how great a man he is, but unfortunately you couldn't do anything right now. A tear escaped from the corner of your eyes. He wiped your eyes. Why are you crying? Is it hurting somewhere? Let me call the doctor. You grabbed his hand and slowly shook your head. You tapped the corner of the bed, signing him to stay here with you. He sat on the chair and held your hands between his. Are you okay? You blinked your eyes. That's good. You'll be alright soon, okay? You're already so strong. I'm so proud of you. He was trying to give you strength while he himself was feeling that pain. He was suppressing his sobs only to stay strong for you. He noticed that you wanted to say something to him, but he couldn't. Love, do you want to say something? You slowly held his hand and wrote something in his palm with your finger. He slowly looked towards your finger, observing the letters that you were tracing. Please don't cry. You are making me cry too. I'm fine already. He looked at you and tears fell from his eyes. He hugged you. Yes, I won't cry. I'm sorry for crying. I love you so much. I can't live without you, Ryan. You slowly lift up your hand and pat his back. The doctor came inside the room. He got a little emotional to see the view in front of. Sorry, Mr. Jungkook, but now we have to shift your wife to another room. You can meet her after some time. Jungkook looked at him and nodded. You wanted to know about that little boy and what happened to that car driver. You looked at the doctor trying to ask them, but unfortunately they weren't understanding you. There were tears in your eyes. You shook Jungkook's hand and tried to explain to him through actions. She's asking about the child and the driver who also got into the accident. Jungkook was outrageous with anger, and he might have killed that man if he doesn't get to know that the driver also got into the accident and he didn't hit Ryan intentionally. Doctor looked at you and smiled. You are so kind, Vayanshi. Still you care about other people anyways. That man was injured badly too, but now he's also fine. And that little kid, his parents are in the hospital since then. They want to thank you for saving their child. You smiled a little. Let's shift you to the another room. After 1 week, you got discharged from the hospital and now you are a lot better. Grace came inside the room holding a tray in her hands. She made some warm soup for you as the doctor said that you can only eat soupy food and try to avoid solid food for some time. I made some soup for Vayanshi. Jungkook looked at her. Keep it on the table. She nodded and put that on the table before looking at you. Jungkook was pulling a blanket over your legs. He fixed the pillow safely behind your back. She was also so sad when she heard about your condition. After that day, you came back home 1 week later. How sad that you were so happy to see what surprise Jungkook will give you, and this happened. Jungkook walked near the table and bring the soup. He sat beside you. He got a little confused when you didn't open your mouth and was just looking at him. Don't you want a drink? I'm tired of eating these blanded foods. I'm craving for some good spicy ramen noodles. You can still wait for some days until your doctor allow you to eat those things again. You pouted. My stomach doesn't get full. He chuckled as he found it cute the way you were telling him all these things through actions. I'll make you something else if you still get hungry, okay? Now finish this first. You have no choice but to open your mouth. You sighed and drank. I'm already fine, but don't know why these doctors make a whole damn situation out of a small thing. They are specialists, okay? They know better. Don't worry, once you'll be all fine, we still have to do a candlelight dinner. I'm excited to cook for you. You smiled.